Award ceremonies like the Oscars have done terrible over the past few years. A lot of people are sick and tired of seeing Hollywood directors and actors pat themselves on the back for making content that most viewers think is mediocre. And with the 2023 Oscars, the viewership numbers are looking up compared to the past 2 years, yet in reality, they are still awful because out of 95 Oscars, this was the third worst viewership-wise. I have a bunch of different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So, I wanted to start off with this article. 2023 Oscars ratings rise to a 3-year high, but there's a catch. I personally didn't watch the Oscars, I just watched clips online, and I feel like a lot of people do that. No one wants to sit for hours and hours watching this when they really only care about 2 to 3 categories. So, it says Sunday's generally well-received Oscars ceremony, which saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, win 7 awards en route to history, offered a mixed bag of success and failure in terms of its television ratings. I don't feel like it was generally well received because if you look at like Twitter and social media, a lot of people felt like it was just another Oscars, and typically that is not very positive. They just kind of viewed it as it wasn't anything special. According to Nielsen though, and as reported by numerous Hollywood trade sites, the 2023 Oscars was watched by 18.7 million viewers, a 12% increase from last year's tepid 16.62 million, and well ahead of the all-time low mark of 10.4 million viewers who watched the 2021 ceremony. The 95th Oscars also stands as the highest-rated award show of any kind since the 2020 Oscars, but despite those rating victories, the ceremony was still the third lowest-rated Oscars broadcast since Nielsen began its tracking, ahead of only the 2022 and 2021 shows, which took place after a lengthy delay due to the COVID pandemic. And yes, 18 million people is still much higher than the 10.4 million that watched in 2021, but the media is trying to spin this as a positive thing, like, wow, the ratings rose to a 3-year high, but it is still one of the lowest watched Oscars of all time. That is still not good, but the media is trying to spin it as, wow, this event is alive and people really enjoyed it, when it's still doing terribly. And this is like a running theme with all of these events over the past couple of years. I mean, look at the Grammys numbers. This was from March 2021. Grammys ratings fall to an all-time low, setting off alarm for Oscars. Then, of course, we had the Emmys. This was from September 2022. Emmy ratings sink to an all-time low of 5.9 million total viewers. None of these shows are doing good right now, but I'd like to directly compare these numbers to their competition, the gaming industry. Now, it is, of course, pretty funny that they never mention the gaming industry and the award shows that take place in it, because they know if they did that, they would look awful, especially viewership-wise. But looking at the 2022 Game Awards, they broke viewership and social engagement records. This was from back in December. Last week, fans eagerly tuned in to watch the 10th edition of the Game Awards, setting new records for viewership and social engagement. So it's only the 10th, but the show reported record viewership of 103 million global live streams, up to 20% over 2021's previous record-setting performance. And there is a, pretty big difference here, because obviously the Oscars, the Grammys, Emmys, they are all on live television. You have to watch on like ABC. And yes, the Game Awards is, online. It is on a social media. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Twitch, and you can watch it there. But even if you split the Gamer Awards numbers in fourths, it still dominates. And this to me just shows how out of touch Hollywood is. They don't understand how their viewers want to watch. They don't understand how to even get new viewers interested in their show. They don't even know how to get previous viewers, maybe from like 5 years ago, watching their event again. It's hilarious to me because, of course, the video gaming industry is so much larger than Hollywood and entertainment. They should really start taking some notes here. Heading back to the original article, though, it talks about how still most would call the 2023 Oscars a rousing success, especially compared to last year's ceremony, and a lot of people feel like even last year's numbers would have been significantly lower if it wasn't for the Will Smith and Chris Rock drama. A lot of people do still believe that it was planned, that they were worried about the viewership, so they were like, let's do something really, really crazy, and that's just the plan that they came up with. Even though, of course, Will Smith's reputation was damaged from it, he's still getting roles, he's still getting parts, he's still in the industry. But if that slap didn't happen and there weren't people, quickly tuning in at the end to see what else was going on, would the numbers have been significantly lower? Yes, I do truly believe that. It says, though, I'm not a big ratings or data analyst guy, but I would hope that with all the buzz out there, maybe people will go and check it out and we'll get a nice +7 rating, which reflects not just people who watched the show live, but also who watched a DVR recording of it within a week of it airing, the executive producer told The Hollywood Reporter. It says Sunday's ceremony made a fairly compelling case for itself throughout the night. Of course, Jimmy Kimmel was there. I don't like Jimmy Kimmel. I know a lot of people don't either. He was praised, apparently, for his monologue, for its vintage feel. I've seen nobody praising him. But it says Top Gun Maverick and Way of Water were nominated for multiple awards, giving the Oscars a much-needed boost of populist appeal that had been lacking during the last two ceremonies. Of course, Everything Everywhere All at Once kind of swiped as many awards as it possibly could have. It does deserve quite a few, though. I do feel like Top Gun Maverick and Way of Water were kind of snubbed. They each only got one award, and they definitely deserved more than that. But overall, I wouldn't say that the event was terrible. It was just another boring Oscars. But yes, as you can see, the 2023 Oscars ratings rose to a 3-year high, but it was still one of the worst viewed Oscars of all time. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.